We trust the wrong person, the musician, the one who seemed harmless, gentle, wise, almost a mother figure, the figure who killed our entire family, a truth we recalled far too late. So tell me, when you finally face her again, would you stand with her or strike her down? Hi, it's 101. Before we dive in, here's the backstory. We play as a samurai woman whose parents were killed by a group of 6, the main bosses. One of them is already dead. In the last episode, we tracked Kitsune through the zone until we finally confronted him. We nearly died in that battle, but we were saved by our new friend, the musician. Now we know the truth. The musician who helped us was the original Kitsune, responsible for our parents' death. How dare she! Who would have thought that evil would be on our side? We head straight to her place.
Just listen.
No. You'd only lie. I withheld the truth. I never lied. You made me believe the man in the mask was the Kitsune. You're one of them. You are the Kitsune.
Not anymore.
But during the fight, she finally tells us about that night. She stopped being Kitsune because of us. She couldn't bear what Saito was about to do. Wait, Saito? We never truly explored him. Why did Kitsune, his closest ally, betray him so suddenly? And by the way, is Saito even a villain? Let's find out. Once you hit that subscribe button, go on. It'll be our little secret. Thank you. Saito is a warlord. Yes, he killed our parents. That's bad. But imagine if our parents were true evil all along. Therefore, Detective Atsu takes an independent stance. We start to know Saito long before we ever meet him, through stories. Remember the first merchant? What did he say about our ability to defend?
Are you as good with that sword as you are with horses?
When I'm motivated.
Ride with us. We'll pay you a generous sum now, then more on arrival.
Like hell we will.
She's a woman.
She's a woman! Outrageous! And that narrative keeps returning. In those glorious traditional times, a woman's proper place? As far as possible from any katana. But do you know the only man with power who doesn't think like that?
The Yotei Six are accepting fresh blood. I'm recruiting a band of warriors to impress them and get on their payroll.
Your friend won't impress them. Looks like that Matt's going to give him a black eye.
You're interested in joining? Cut through the mat and we'll talk.
You'd offer the job to a woman?
I heard Lord Saito sees potential in all.
Exactly! Saito. I even think he has a dollhouse all for himself. Quite progressive for his time. Probably he sees people as weapons, not genders. That's why he accepted the musician. But that's not the end. We gradually get his story through the messages left in the camps. So how did he become who he is? Childhood? Nope. Typical old man's story. Hard times, hungry. To get to school he had to fight 10 crocodiles and 10 tigers. That's why the tiger cape. But what's the conflict with Matsumaya? Who attacks whom? Where is Saito's home? The letter describes the battle that changed everything. If you ever imagine going back in time with a gun against cavalry, that's exactly what happened. Guns versus cavalry. Bullets beat horses. Who could have thought? But later, the legend grew. 3 times more guns, 3-layer reloading technique, switch to the knife to run faster. Recent research doesn't exactly support that. However, it's better to switch to the knife if you are running late. But the loss had consequences for Saito. His clan turned on him, exiled, powerless, and his family, they starved to death in front of him. For him, that moment was the world's betrayal. For us, it's the birth of the man who will shape Atsu's entire life. But where were the Yotei Six in this story? They were the only people who supported him. He fought Matsumai, the evil empire. They thrived. He thinks the world wronged him. But for Atsu, this is just the man who orphaned her. Is that the moment when he became cruel? At one point, he was hunted by a bounty hunter. Saito ended in a deadly duel. He won, but took only his arm. Mercy. So yes, mercy remains somewhere in him. Then why did our family suffer and die? Because our family did what Saito's clan once did to him. They were close to him, but at one moment decided not to follow his orders. They betrayed him. So for Saito, our family, just a political move, a message to rivals, a line drawn in blood. For him, it's a blip. The blip! For us, the whole world. Their lives meant nothing to him. The tragedy that shaped our destiny. But in his keep, he tries to talk. He offers Atsu a place at his side. That's not an option. The duel is the only option.
Put down that stick. Draw your katana.
That would not be fair to you, and would belittle me as a warrior. Your technique is familiar. How is Hanbei?
Alive.
Running like a cow.
But he's stronger. A Matsumai attack interrupts. Now we understand Kitsune. Saito is too cruel for her. Just think how old she was then. When she sided with him, maybe 20, maybe less. But now she could have had a child of her own. She defied Saito's order to kill little Atsu. That meant it's either her or him. So to defeat Saito eventually, we need to defeat the new Kitsune first. Time is running out. The harvesting base is destroyed. Kitsune won't wait for us. But to beat him, we must master his ways.
You want your revenge? Take it. But you'll be doing Saito a favor.
What do you mean?
I know Saito better than his own sons. He wants to silence me, so I can't help you bring him to his knees. I can help you fight like a nine-tail, and resist the Kitsune's toxin.
I told you I don't care about the man in the mask.
The Kitsune oversees the shinobi who protects Saito. Kill him, and Saito will be vulnerable.
Why are you doing this? To be the Kitsune again?
No. That part of my life is over.
Fine. Teach me your tricks. But this fight isn't finished.
We can't kill the only source of that knowledge. We believe her, because apparently we trust too easily. The musician trains us. Calm, wait, prepare. The battle starts long before the weapons clash. Listen for ambushes. Find the enemy before he finds us. See with your ears. Fight poison. Oyuki's speciality. We're ready. We move to Kitsune's hideout. The plot armor is gone. We advance through the dungeon. The grand battle. After Tekezo, child's play.
You know the truth, and still you stand by her.
We have a common enemy.
Lord Saito. Oyuki is his most loyal servant.
Liar!
She let your mother hang. Made you watch.
I didn't, Atsu.
She will never betray him.
She already did. When she let me go.
And that's enough to earn your forgiveness.
It's a start.
Then you will die with her.
Focus on Dojun. I'll deal with the others.
You can't trust her. She'll say anything to save herself.
Like you're doing now. He's running!
He uses everything Kitsune taught us. We counter everything.
Atsu! He fled this way!
Even the poison is no threat to us now.
You need a new trick.
Oh, how are you resisting?
She knows what is real, and what is only an illusion.
We defeat the new Kitsune.
I can't help but feel like I failed him.
You have much to atone for. But Dojun, he failed himself. Saito has lost his spy master. Focus on that.
Atsu! Before the Kitsune, there was the innkeeper's daughter. By day, the shamisen songs brought warriors to tears. By night, the family served Clan Saito as their knives in the dark. Until Clan Saito fell, and the innkeeper's daughter lost everything. Orphaned and vulnerable, she followed the disgraced Lord Saito north, and took on a new identity, the Kitsune, the most elusive member of the Yotei Six. A woman hiding among men. More and more, the Kitsune felt trapped by the title meant to protect her.
Now we know. Saito accepted her, but when she turned on him, he blackmailed her. The Nine Tails can't follow a woman's orders. One word from Saito and she's done. He used her secret against her. Even her own student, the one she treated like a son, sided with Saito. He weaponized their bond. This is why Kitsune, Oyuki, the Nine Tails are all caught in his war. Her student betrayed her. Everything she built collapsed.
Thank you for believing in me.
See you around.
Oyuki, the musician, becomes our ally for now. For me, Saito is not unconditionally a bad guy. He killed our family, yes, but it was part of the war he leads. He makes sacrifices, but he also shows mercy. Now, I want to ask you, is Saito a good guy or a bad guy? If you had to choose, whose side would you pick? The game pushed us toward the Ishikari Plain zone. But we didn't go there. We had our own path. And this zone, this questline, it's something else entirely. One of those rare sequences you remember long after you move on to a new game. The tone here shifts. It's unlike anything in the game. The puzzles, that's what makes it feel different. Exceptionally balanced. First attempt, failure. Second attempt, you're already reaching for Google. But give it one more try, and voila, art! Sure, I grumble about some dungeons being locked behind quest triggers, but overall, the game lets you explore far more than it restricts. Everything outside the main story is real gameplay, not grind, a rare thing nowadays. Especially the moment when you see all the animals you've helped. Now you realize they weren't just collectibles. They each have a place in this world. Nice touch. If you enjoyed the core gameplay, this zone adds a special flavor to it. Just enough to feel fresh, but not so much that you'd want the entire game built this way. And the quest itself, as I already said, a well-crafted twist. Now, it's time to subscribe. And you're coming with me to the land of the third boss, the Ishikari Plain, Oni. Are we on our own, or will an ally, old or new, join us? That's what we'll see in the next part.